Hey guys, this is James with NewBeeDrone, and today I'm going to be showing you how to flash new firmware on your BeeBrain V2 flight controller. You can also use this video if you're having troubles with your flight controllers, such as the OSD not working up, maybe your BeeBrain's not binding correctly, maybe it lost the bind, maybe your controls are all messed up and reversed or something like that, or any kind of other minor issue that might be happening with your flight controller. Usually, reflashing the firmware tends to fix a lot of the little minuscule issues. The first thing you're going to want to do is make sure you have all your USB drivers installed correctly for your flight controller. If you guys haven't already done that, I will leave a link in the video description below of a video I show you how to install all the USB drivers. Then you're going to want to have Betaflight up and running and go to your firmware flasher tab. Go ahead and grab your BeeBrain V2. On the bottom of the flight controller, you're going to see there is this little button right here that is the bind and DFU flashing button. So to put it into the DFU flashing mode, we're going to go ahead and either use a little pointy stick to hold the button down like this, or the way I like to do it is, since we designed the frame to sit right above the button, you can use your thumb to push down the frame and you'll feel the button click down. Once you have the button pressed down, go ahead and insert your USB cable. Go ahead and let that go. Now in Betaflight, you'll see the COM port change to DFU mode. Now currently, Betaflight doesn't have the most up-to-date firmware for our BeeBrain, so the best solution is to open up a web browser. You're going to want to go to sunkdata.com. When you get here, click the BeeBrain V2 tab, then click the firmware link. And the latest up-to-date firmware is always going to be here. This is a site I personally run and update and maintain, so you can be sure that this is always going to have the correct firmware that you're going to want to use. And I always leave information about what happened with the changes of this firmware. And I have a link for FrSky and DSM. My BeeBrain personally is at DSM, so I'm going to click the DSMX link. Click that. It'll link to a Google Drive. Hit download. You'll see that finished download. Go ahead and close your browser. Then we can go to load local firmware. And in our downloads folder, you'll see the Betaflight 3.2.3 with the D on the end, which means this is the DSM version. Go ahead and click that and hit open. After that's loaded, click flash firmware. It will start erasing the old firmware. And now it's flashing the new firmware. Just sit tight and make sure you don't unplug your USB cord or anything. All right, programming successful. So now take your BeeBrain and unplug it. Okay. Plug it back in. Now in Betaflight, we can go to the Welcome tab, and you'll see that Betaflight's automatically selected COM5. Hit Connect. And now you can see we're into the Betaflight menu, and if we look down here in the bottom right, we can see the version we're running is the 3.2.3, just to verify that we got it updated, and everything's all set. If you guys have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments below.